Today we're going to be looking at the facts about Social Security spousal benefits for women, married, divorced, or if the spouse dies. So the Social Security benefit is very important, especially for spouses who've been caregivers and really haven't worked. This gives them a chance to earn a Social Security benefit. So we're going to be talking about that here today. My name is Richard with Wisdom Investor. Our goal here is to provide valuable information to help you accumulate a nest egg for retirement, build your financial wealth. So we're going to be taking a look at the spousal benefit here in Social Security. This is for married. We'll have a section on married, divorced, and if the spouse passes away. You keep in mind your Social Security benefit belongs to you. Whatever you're earning comes in your name. The check is made out to you. So let's take a look at some of the various rules for the benefit here for Social Security. At full retirement age, say 66, full retirement age, if you're born before 1960, your full retirement age is going to be 66 in so many months. After 1960, if you were born after 1960, your benefits, your full benefit retirement age is going to be 67. So if you retire at 66, you've never worked or only worked partially, you qualify for 50% of your spouse's Social Security benefit. If you retire between 62 and 66, before your full retirement age, your benefit is going to be reduced. So it's important to think about this real carefully before you take your benefits and claim those. The spousal benefit's a very important strategy for retirement planning for many families, and here's a good reason why. If your spouse has claimed the benefits, receiving it, and they're earning $2,000 per month, and your full retirement age, as we said, 66, your benefit is going to be $1,000. You're going to get 50% of what the husband is getting, and that can definitely provide a good income for the family. We're going to take a look at some examples here of the married spousal benefit. First thing we're going to just cover is there a marriage penalty or a benefits limited that are paid to a married couple? If you are married and both you and your husband have worked, you will each be paid your own Social Security benefit. The check is in your name. A working woman is not limited to one half of her husband's Social Security. That 50% rate applies to women who never worked outside the home. For example, if you are due Social Security benefit of $1,200, your husband is due $1,400, you both get those checks individually. This does not apply for the spousal benefits. Primarily if you've been a caregiver or you have not worked while being married. We're going to take a look at another example. If I am due two benefits, which benefit do I get? In many cases, in the spousal benefit, you could qualify for two separate benefits. One from your husband's record and one from your own record. You're going to be able to pick the higher of the two, but not a combination of the two. So let's take a look at this. Most women are potentially due two benefits, your own retirement benefit and wife's benefit on your husband's record, but you only get the one that pays the higher rate. Here's an example. Husband is 66, gets $1,800 per month Social Security. Now it's important to understand that your husband here would have to have claimed his Social Security and be receiving it for the spousal benefit if you're married. Non-working wife is entitled to one half a husband's $900 at age 66, full retirement age. So she gets $900, which is half of his $1,800. If wife takes the benefit from age 60 to 66, as we said earlier, it will be reduced up to 30%. Also note, husband's Social Security is not reduced. Because you're getting $900, his doesn't get reduced by $900. If wife has worked over the years and the wife is 66 and gets $400, so let's say her benefit is $400 on her own record, wife is entitled to either one half a husband's of $900 in this case or her own $400 at age 66. Wife would not get both. So her husband made $1,800, she gets half of that. That's more than the $400. Now most working women that are full-time, they're going to receive a benefit that most likely is going to be higher than this $900. So example, if wife is entitled to $1,100 per month and one half of spouse's is $900, the wife would get the $1,100 and not both. But if your husband dies before you, you can apply for the higher widow's rate. We'll talk about that later. Okay, we're going to take a look now at a situation if you were divorced. So let's look at some of the basic rules if you were divorced. And here you have to be married at least 10 years. Your marriage have had to last 10 years to receive benefits from your ex. You need to be at least 62. That's early retirement. Full retirement would be 66 or 67, depending if you're born before 1960 or after. Your ex-spouse needs to be entitled to must be receiving benefits if you're divorced and you're going to collect on his record. And you need to be unmarried. Okay, you need to be unmarried at the time. And the ex can remarry. So if your ex has remarried a couple of times, you're going to try to collect on your ex-husband's benefit, then you can still do that if you're unmarried. And what can you get? You can get 50% of your ex at 66 years old, full retirement age. So if you retire between 62 and 66, this amount would be less. So we're going to take a look at some examples here on the divorced spousal benefit. What happens if I am divorced and I was married at least 10 years? Am I eligible for some of my ex Social Security? Divorced women married at least 10 years are eligible for Social Security on the ex-husband's record if they are unmarried at the time they become eligible for Social Security. If you never worked and were married for 10 years or more and you are now divorced, when you reach age 62, you're eligible to start receiving benefits from your ex-husband. You do not need to contact your ex. That's important to understand. You do not have to call up your ex and say, I'm going to file Social Security on you. Maybe the relationship's not going so great at that time. There's no reason to contact your ex-husband. All you need to do is contact the Social Security Administration. They'll do all the processing for you. You just need to prove your marriage was 10 years. If you did work outside the home for more than 10 years, you could receive the benefit that is higher if your ex-husband's benefits are more than what you earn on your own record. So if you have worked outside the home and your ex-husband benefits can be greater, then you can collect on that even though you've been working. If you were married for 2 times for more than 10 years each marriage, you should check on the benefits from both to see which one is higher. So yes, if you're divorced but you've been married a couple times, at least 10 years, you can collect on the higher of the 2 marriages. Some women sign divorce decrees on their ex-husband's record when they relinquish their rights to Social Security on their ex-husband's record. If you were married at least 10 years, these clauses in divorce decrees are typically worthless and never enforced. Any benefits paid to a divorced spouse do not reduce payments to the ex or any payments due to the ex-current spouse if remarried. So your payment does not affect your ex. Generally, the same payment rules apply to divorced wives and widows as to current wives and widows. That means most divorced women collect their own Social Security while the ex is alive, but can apply for higher widows rates. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay, we're going to cover the last section here, and this is a situation if the spouse passes away. Look at some of the rules on this. So if the spouse dies, you can claim at age 60 or age 50 if disabled. At age 66, 67, you get the full retirement benefit. If you claim prior to that, you're going to get less. But age 60 to 60, or depending on if you're born before 1960 or after, you're going to get the full benefit, which is 100% of what your spouse was earning from Social Security. So that's pretty good. If you claim between age 60 and 66, you're going to get a percentage of it, 71.5% to 99%. If there's a child, you're caring for a child under 16, that belongs to the spouse that passed away, they can get up to 75%. And if you're a surviving divorced spouse, you're divorced and your spouse passed away, there are also some benefits for that if you've worked at least 10 years. So let's take a look at some examples here. If my husband or ex dies, will I be due a widow's benefit? Widows are due between 71% at age 60 and 100% at full retirement age of what the husband was getting before he died. Social Security Administration must pay your own retirement first. So if you've worked on your own record, you're going to get that paid first. If your benefit from your spouse that passed away is greater, then you get the higher amount of the two. Social Security also pay you $255 one-time death benefit if you were living with your husband when you died. If you made more money than your husband, then he might be due a widower's benefit on your record if you die before he does. So in many cases in today's world, the wife is making more money than the husband, so it can work in reversed roles. So who receives benefits in this case? Certain family members may be eligible to receive monthly benefits, including a widow or widower age 60 or older, age 50 if older, if disabled. A surviving divorced spouse under certain circumstances, a widow or widower at any age who is caring for the deceased child who is under age 16 or disabled and receiving benefits on their record, an unmarried child of the deceased who is younger than 18 or up to age 19 if he or she is a full-time student in an elementary or secondary school, or 18 or older with disability that began before 22. So these are some examples here of a spousal benefit for Social Security. We talked about the three examples here, whether you're married, divorced, spouse dies. Keep in mind, your benefit belongs to you. So we've been talking about facts about Social Security spousal benefits for women married, divorced, or the spouse passes away. So keep in mind, one of the most important things here with applying for Social Security, if you're applying before full retirement age, your benefits are permanently reduced. So the closer you can work to age 66 or 67, depending if you're born before 1960 or after 1960, the higher the benefit that you're going to get. I want to thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you have any comments regarding this subject about married Social Security spousal benefits. Thank you for watching.